Oh, it's recording. It's something to do with waving your hands about. Good afternoon. This is the knitting news from Knit Happens Teesside for the 38th week of 2024. The other night at knitting, Jill was working on the sideways lace cardigan, and you know how it's a Debbie Bliss pattern and it's the Debbie Bliss Rialto lace that she bought because that yarn is discontinued, and that's why I'm wearing this. So that what I am wearing is, if it's going to be early, is to show you what Jill keeps making. So you start this cardigan here and work round that way, and you have these two, excuse the bingo wings, you have these two bits. I have showed you this cardigan before, but as Jill keeps making it, I thought I'd show you yet again. So there is an underarm seam in the middle, and then there's two pieces. So you've got all these extra flaps and bits before you sew that up, and that doesn't need sewing up, you just sew that bit up. So then you do your cast on, edge goes across. You can see there's a different lace going over there, but there is also that seam. I think that's probably a pull. It's all a bit. Anyhow, that's what Jill's making again, because she's knitted it, worn it out, knitted it again. We'll probably worn it out again, and we did think that maybe she'd done 4, and now she's on her 5th, and here's a picture of it. Fee's back. So Fee was working on her UK knitting, because if you're travelling light, you can't take all your current projects backwards and forwards, can you? So she's working on a Martin Storey blanket, but making big long strips that she's going to sew together. This project is kind of a long-term one that she has been doing for the last few years, maybe. Great colours. Couple of years, I think. So it's an ongoing sort of a long-term project, because a blanket is, isn't it, really, if you want to make other things in between. Another thing that Jill was doing, she brought to shows, she bought a kit to make key rings with crystals. I took photographs and they don't do any justice to them, really, because they were really dazzly and sparkly. I suppose probably in the coffee shop there was good lighting, you know, spotlights. So they were like really dazzling, like diamonds do and things when they're in good lighting. But they were fab, really fab. Helen was making puff flowers for her mum's blanket, and the puff flowers are from a blanket, but where the puffs are all sewn together or all joined together as you go to make a blanket, like crochet puff flowers. I'm sure some of you have seen it or even done it. I'm sure it would eat yarn. I did try a puff flowered edge on my baby blanket, but it didn't look right in that yarn on that blanket, so I didn't use it. was working on something I tried to cast on a train a couple of weeks ago that wasn't really very successful because I had a bit of an altercation with the conductor because she was ripping off some young lads and they kept asking her politely to give them a refund and make their tickets separate so they got to travel for less. And yeah, she told them to get over it, it's only a couple of quid. Well, I'm afraid when you're a child and you've not got an income and your parents are giving you a set amount of money, you want to make that set amount of money as go as far as possible. And the carriage was full. And nobody said anything except for me. And I told her. I said, what you should be doing is giving them a refund. Sorting it out for them and giving them a refund. How much money do you think they've got? Anyway, it worked. I'm kind of like, I know I do YouTube, but if you met me in a social setting, I'm kind of like a bit shy and quiet. But if you rattle me, you kind of know about it. So because some middle-aged woman with greying hair said, what you should be doing is giving them a refund and sorting it out for them. She did. It's nice when you can be effective, isn't it? What I was making, I tried to cast on a train a couple of weeks ago. And actually the wool was 3-ply instead of 4-ply. So the wool was a bit too thin. And then I couldn't knit properly after I'd had to have an altercation. It wasn't an odd, it was just... I'd had to speak up when I really would have liked it. A nice, pleasant, quiet journey where you can just look out of the window or do your knitting and just be calm and relaxed. And I couldn't knit after that. Plus it was the wrong yarn. I'm knitting this. I think I've shown you already. I'm also going to do the booties. They are by Erica Knight. Must be from one of her books or something. I'll have a look. This is my lace edge. Move that out of the way. That's a cat sneezing, if you can hear that. Funny, aren't they? So that's my edge. And I've been doing the decreases. Can you tell what it is yet? So it's a little pull-on hat. I just have to finish that off, which won't take long, and put a flower on it and then make the shoes. But what's really been requested is sort of strawberry themed items. So coming to this channel soon will be some strawberry themed baby items. There are a few things. I've had a look and found a few things. This is the cardigan I made. I had a look through all the stash and I found this grey. And I think it edges it quite nicely. And Fee, who hadn't seen it before, said, "Oh, I didn't realise you'd run out of yarn. I thought it was deliberate." So that's quite good, isn't it? And it's a little bit Chanel. So this edge here that's not been finished yet, the pattern says to do some sort of a crochet, single crochet, double crochet, single crochet. Double crochet in English, single crochet in American. Edge with little loops for buttons. And that's all it says. So it's like, hey ho, there you go. Get yourself on a learning curve. I mean, I will I'll be able to do it fine, but not everybody would they? So I've been through my buttons and I found some little pink ones. We're in daylight here, but I'm still not getting great colours. Or grey ones. Or go to a shop and buy some more, because these are what we're in. And I have thousands of buttons, and I don't seem to have very many pink ones. I must have used them on girly knitting, maybe. So I was hard pushed to find buttons that went with it. And I've only got 4, but I can space my crochet edge accordingly then, can't I? And I don't have to follow the pattern, even if there was one. Last weekend, I think my knitting news was a little bit early, because me and my husband and the dogs went to Whitby, which is one of my favourite places, even though it no longer has a wool shop. You can buy Ganzi yarn there from a health food shop, but we were there on the Saturday and the Sunday, and we didn't go to the health food shop on the Saturday, and it was shut on the Sunday. And I already have some anyway, so I didn't need to buy any. That's about all the yarn they sell. I don't think they don't sell a great deal of different yarn. But I've just been looking through my photographs and thought I'd put some on this video for you to see how beautiful Whitby is. And it is especially beautiful in the evening, and it's quieter in the evening, and the atmosphere changes because it's very, very, very busy during the day. We were camping at Saltwick Bay, which is just outside of Whitby. Well, it's not really outside of Whitby, it's part of Whitby, but it's over the cliff. And the campsite that we stay on has a footpath, but it is a public footpath that goes down to the beach. We saw little fish, and my husband found a piece of jet, but I don't think it's particularly valuable. What else did we do? Well, we walked down the steps and into Whitby, and then when we finished, we walked up the steps. And there's a couple of particularly nice pubs just at the bottom of the 99 steps, is it, up to the Abbey? And on the Saturday night, when we walked up the steps, we could hear the live music. And it was a once a year charity event that was being held at the Whitby Brewery, which is right across the road from Whitby Abbey. So we called in there, but it was a little bit loud and there was too many people for one of our dogs, the blonde one. So we couldn't stay for too long, but we did listen to Broken Three Ways, which were brilliant. And there was a man with a Mohican. Saltwick Bay, and people are hunting fossils. Yes. this the back of the magpie? It's a doggy. Just come down through that cliff. Oh, look. Houses. How'd you get out?
Oh, must be this way. Go this way.
We're going this way anyway, aren't we? No, I do like a Mohican. I'm just going to grab a drink. Today I am drinking water. Because, to be honest, my coffee went cold while I was getting myself organised. And there's nothing wrong with a cup of water, is there? Funny how when you go somewhere else it tastes weird. Sometimes better. Right then, so Broken Three Ways were a very good punk band. I think they were punk. They seemed very punk. They were playing trumpets. It was really good. It's quite a while since I've been to something like that. And I thought they were great. Roxy wasn't too impressed. So we went back to the van. In the dark. But there was moonshine and the path was white. So we could really see where we were going. And we got a cliff edge spot to camp. Because, well, I don't know if it was because we turned up on the Saturday and not the Friday, we've stayed there lots of times and there's never one free on the edge of the cliff. It sounds worse than it is. There is a little bit of vegetation between you and the edge of the cliff, and a fence. I've got a little friend here to see you. You going to say hello? Come on then. Ooh. There she is. Minnie. You know when people's dogs shut out and they make a right racket? Well, Millie got shut out earlier, didn't you, Millie? Was that mean? I've never heard anything like it, and I was thinking, what's that? And then I thought, oh yes, Millie, she's out there. Yeah, you got shut out. Little old ladies shouldn't get shut out, should they? Need your nails cutting. Are you pulling me knitting? So, I think that's it for this week. Unless you can hear some purring. Some more news, maybe next week.